So Chris, half of the season in the books. How do you want to summarize the first half here?
I think overall, we're obviously quite happy with where we're at, both in the SHL and the success we've had so far in the Champions Hockey League. So I think I would say that we're satisfied with in many ways, but not too overconfident going into the second half of the year. We know that we have areas to improve on our game, and we're going to need to do that to be as successful in the last half of the year.
Had CHL games as well as SHL games. How has the tight schedule affected the team, do you think?
Yeah, it means that we've had to rely more on the depth of our lineup and our organization, and I guess that was a jump to one of the main factors in our success this year has been having access to a junior team and junior players that have come in and not just survived, but have really thrived and contributed in our lineup. We have the youngest team in the league, and we've used that as a strength this year, in that we've got a lot of guys that have been able to come in and perform at a high level for us. So yeah, really happy with a lot of things in our game, but that's definitely one of the most important ones.
You mentioned the young guys there. How impressed are you with those guys coming into the SHL and taking a spot?
Yeah, extremely impressed. I mean, I think players like Marco Casper, who's solidified himself as an SHL player. Of course, there's always gains to be made, but as a 17-year-old and where he's at in his development, it's been really impressive. William Vollander, I think his improvement and development over the course of the year has been a huge part of our success, but also seeing the jump that he's made is really impressed a lot of people, including Detroit Red Wings. So yeah, I mean, our young players are a huge part of our lineup, and they've done a great job of taking the next step. And that's not just those guys. There's been a lot of players that have come in, whether it's Philip Granith and playing the minutes he has, Oliver Tarnstrom, Stromgren, Linus Wedin, who's already in our organization. They've done a great job of filling the void of many of those that left us last year. And I think also, of course, Kalle Klang and the steps he's taken in becoming an SHL goaltender and doing it at a really high level.
And a few weeks ago, you brought in Erik Gelna, made his return to the team. What has he brought to the team in the few games that he has played?
Yeah, I mean, Erik, has come back here after being away for I guess the first 20 or so games of our year. I think he's done a great job so far. I think he obviously wants to get back to the level that he left here at last year, and I'm sure he's going to do that. He's an elite defenseman and has a lot of experience, and I know he's going to be a big part of our team in the second half and into the playoffs. So yeah, love having him back. He's a terrific guy, and he's going to continue to get reintegrated into the team here and play at a really high level.
And now for the World Juniors upcoming here in a few weeks. What's the plan for the roster over that tournament? We're going to lose Kalle Klang and Marco. Yeah,
we've lost. I say lost. They've had the opportunity to go, and I think we try and always flip things around and say, okay, what are the advantages here? And for us, it means another player is going to get more of an opportunity to play in our lineup that might not otherwise have that chance. So with Kalle Klang, we're going to have potentially Max from our junior team, another goaltender perhaps from outside come in and back up, and then probably with the group that we have replace Marco's absence, whether it's Oliver Tarnstrom or Stromgren or Granath or there's Oscar Jonsson. There's a lot of players that have the potential to come in and play. So we'll probably handle it that way.
And looking forward here to the rest of the season, how comfortable are you with the group that you have going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're very satisfied with the team and the job they've done the first half of the season. We also know that there's a likelihood of losing some player and man games to injuries, and that's something that every team has to deal with. So how we will deal with that remains to be seen, but probably obviously keep an eye on what is available on the market and out there, which guys we have in our own team that are coming up and showing that they can play more minutes with our SHL team. I don't have anything to announce or any definitive intentions as far as starting to acquire more players, but as we get towards the trade deadline, knowing a playoff run will require a deep roster, there's a possibility of adding a piece or two to our lineup, and we also know we have to be better in the second half because we aren't having these results in an extremely sustainable way. We're not as good as the stats may suggest, especially the standings. I think we have to be more thorough in our game and make sure that we're beating teams because we should and not because we've come back late in the game, as we have done 6 or 7 times already this year.
Last year, reaching the final, what have you taken from that experience going into the rest of the season and the important part of the season, if you want to call it that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Joel. For us, I think it just gives another experience for the guys to rely on and to go back to, towards the playoffs, knowing that it's a grind, it's going to be a long push, and just to have that comfortableness, I guess, through the group, knowing that what it's going to take just to get back there, and maybe we have enough to get us over the hump and to have another chance to win. So. I think that experience is only positive. It stings, of course. I would rather have won, but I think it's just to use as motivation this year, and also to rely on the experience and to know it's going to take a lot to get back to that point.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.